Hello, I'm IBX and today I'm going to be giving a brief overview of all the new Redstone features for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. So, I have done some more in-depth tutorials for a lot of these items, and I'll continue to do some more of those, so if you want to learn more about Redstone, then of course check the description. However, what I figured I'd do is take all of the new Redstone items, there's like 10 of them here, I'd take them all, I'd put them all in one video, and just give you like a brief overview. So if you don't want to know exactly, all the ways you can use a hopper, but you do want to know what a hopper is and how it works, this is the video for you. Also, the trap chest, the redstone block, the dropper, all of this sort of stuff I'm going to be explaining in this video. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, please do like the video for all of this redstone stuff, and check the description if you want to learn more about anything. But let's get started with a brief guide to all the different redstone features in the current updates. So let's get started with our first feature, which is the Redstone Comparator. So the Redstone Comparator is the most confusing looking of all the blocks, that's why I decided to go first, and basically what it does is it compares the input that goes in through this way with the two inputs on the side. If it's stronger, it goes out there. If it's not stronger, nothing goes out. It has a separate mode where it just it's like stronger or weaker, all or nothing, like this just takes it away from it, and yeah, that's kind of a weird mode, but this is how you'll generally see it. You can compare an input on the side, two inputs on the side, whatever works for you. So that's its main use. However, the more likely use, which is kind of funny, not its main use, is the fact that it can actually measure what's inside a chest, furnace, or hopper. So right now, you can see this amount of redstone signal is being put off by this chest. The more items you have inside a chest, the more redstone signal it emits. So we'll put a couple stacks of redstone in there just for good measure. We'll put some dirt in there, throw some red, and as you can see, we have just reached the number that we need to actually open the door. So as you can see, this measures chests, and you can do really cool stuff, like have doors that only open when you fill up a chest to a certain level, or like you have to smelt a certain number of items to open a door. There are some really cool possibilities for it, and that's the Redstone Comparator. So next up, let's go on to the daylight sensor. So the daylight sensor is quite a simple block to explain. It's like a solar panel. When there's light in the sky, like there is right now, it outputs a redstone signal. When there's not light, it doesn't. Of course, it gets weaker and stronger throughout the day based on how strong the sun is, but that's the simplest way you need to know it. You can have doors that open during the daytime. You can have lights that open that turn on during the nighttime. Again, I've done a whole video on that, so check the description if you want to learn more. So next up, we have the weighted pressure plate. So the weighted pressure plate is kind of an evolution on the pressure plate, because the pressure plate just puts a signal out, or it doesn't put a signal out. The weighted pressure plates, the gold one's the light one, and the iron one here is the heavy one. The gold one, about, I think it's 60 items will put out a full signal, and anything between that, it's kind of proportional. So if, as you can see here, I slowly put more redstone signal on, and it slowly powers this more. So let's throw some more redstone on there. And as you can see, the redstone signal slowly travels up the item there. Also, when you step on it, it adds a block to it, and it's just a cool way to kind of expand the redstone signal. So, yeah, it's based on the number of items you put on there, and it's kind of a way, so if you have a dropper drop items out, you can measure how many it's dropped, for instance, or you can have a player have to sacrifice a certain number of items to get on the thing, or even better yet, you can have a certain number of players need to be on the pressure plate before a door will open. It's a cool thing like that. This is the same thing, but it requires 600 items to put a full signal out, so just in case you want to go crazy with your pressure plates, this is for you. So next up we have the hoppers. So hoppers are a pretty cool new block that basically they just take in anything that's thrown into them. So as you can see, all of this is bouncing right into the hopper, and then it moves the items all the way through. It's kind of like a pipe into this hopper. This hopper then moves it into this chest, and there's all my redstone, just like I saw. So let's show you this again, because some of it goes in this hopper, and then it ends up over here in this chest, as you can see. So yeah, that's the hopper for you. You put items in it, it takes them through, and takes them out to wherever the output is, which I think is quite cool. Moving on next to the dropper, which is this block just here. You can't really see it behind the chest. Let's break the chest for a second. Or apparently let's not. Okay, there we go. So yeah, as you can see, this is the dropper. It looks a bit like a dispenser, except instead of, having the dispenser kind of look, it's got a big wide mouth kind of, and basically the dropper is a dispenser, but instead of dispensing items, so for instance the dispenser puts armor on you, it pours out lava, it pours out spawn eggs, it just drops the item out. Also, it can drop it into a chest or into anything like that if you want it to. So for instance with this chest here, like it was before, when I pull this button, it'll pick one of these random items, and it'll put it into this chest. So, as you can see, you press the lever down, and now there's a piece of flesh. Let's do it again, and now we've got a piece of anvil. So, it's kind of like the dispenser in that you get random odds, except you can use it to go directly into a chest. It also means that you can have, redstone systems that work that way, and I'll show you in a second a more interesting use for it. But next up, let's show you the redstone block. So, the redstone block is kind of not working right now, but the idea is it's a redstone source that's movable by pistons. So, as you can see, this block itself emits redstone on all sides sides, and it's like a redstone charge that can be moved by pistons. Right now it can't, so it's just a really cool block. It's got an interesting texture in my opinion, and I kind of like it, but that's its purpose. It just doesn't entirely work right now because pistons are broken. So next up we have the trap chest. So the idea of the trap chest is that actually what it does is when it's on, as you can see over here, while it's on, you can see it puts out a redstone signal just over here. So you can then power that with a repeater, for instance, and you can have a really long signal coming out of it, or you can have TNT underneath it. Again, I've done a tutorial on this specific block if you want to learn how to trap people with it, but yeah, it's cool in that way. Also, if you don't want to just trap people with the chest, you can also use it for a really cool like self filling chest, because every time I open this chest, I'm getting another piece of wheat because there's a dropper behind it. So the dropper's being powered by the redstone and then dropping a piece of wheat into the chest. So 10 pieces of wheat, 11 pieces of wheat, and as you can see, it's a cool way to do some stuff. I think it's quite interesting, and this is one of my favourite uses ever, because the chest fills itself as you open it. So as long as you stop people from spam opening the chest, it's a cool way to limit what they can have, at least in my opinion. So moving on from this, we have the 2 new minecarts and the activator rails. So let's start with the hopper, because this will blow everything up. The minecart hopper is just a hopper, except it will absorb anything that it goes along or that goes into it. So if it falls on top of it, it will still land in it, but if it goes onto the minecart track, as you can see here, while I'm going to push it, it actually absorbs everything on the track too, so yeah, that's quite a cool thing it can do. So that's kind of cool like that. It's a movable hopper, which is really nice and is used for quite a few builds. So let's just leave that there. Next up we have the minecart of TNT. I think you can probably guess the basic idea behind this one, but the activator rail is a redstone powered rail that activates this TNT and also turns off the hopper. So let's just show you one massive boom then, shall we? Why don't we? So why don't we go close to this? I wonder what could happen. I can't... Ow. So yeah, that's the minecart of the TNT. I'm sure you understand. Oh wow, the minecarts were pretty unharmed by that. But, I mean the rails, sorry, were pretty unharmed by that. So that's all of the new redstone features in Minecraft that just came out. I didn't cover the locked repeaters, because that's just repeaters that lock each other. But hopefully you learned something about one of these features. Hopefully so that's how that works now. If you were, I'd appreciate if you liked the video, let me know. I'd very much appreciate it. Share it if you really liked it. Check out the individual redstone stories if you want to learn more about the hoppers, the droppers, the trap chests, the daylight sensors, or anything like that. There'll be links in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.